Welcome to a special edition of Talkback Fans. I'm Pat Langdon.
Terry Heil.
John Fasiglia.
And Jake Rowe.
And we are at Brush High School, home of the Lady Arcs. And we're going to talk to the Lady Arcs program tonight. Terry, why don't you tell us a little bit about the Brush program?
The Brush program, they are led by head coach Damaris Winters, who we'll have on in a bit. He's in his third season here. They are members of the Western Reserve Conference, the WRC, coming off of a 10-12 season last year. Very young team, off to a little bit of a tough start at 1-3. It's a young team that unfortunately is missing one of two seniors, Jenna Perry, who is out for the season with a knee issue. We are joined this evening by closest to air, 5'7" junior guard Delia Johnson, and closest to Jay, 6' senior Talia Jeter. Ladies, welcome. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
I guess I get to ask the first question.
You do.
Since I'm an alumnus.
You are, yes. You have local working knowledge, so you get to go first.
I guess the best way to start is I saw you guys play Monday against Euclid. Tough defeat against a very good team, don't get me wrong. Give us some feelings, some feedback from that. I know you also played last night, but let's just back it up to Monday night. Give us, how did you guys feel about your performance on Monday, what you could improve on, what you could have maybe done better, or what you felt you did do well?
It was definitely a tough defeat. I feel like we gave a lot of energy. We definitely, great effort. We went in there with the mindset we knew it was going to be hard. It definitely was good effort from us. Yeah, it was definitely good effort, and I feel like it wasn't our best, but we're getting there. So.
You think that was, I didn't see you against Heights, and obviously I didn't see you last night, but do you think that even in the loss that was is a better effort maybe against Heights and maybe a better effort than last night, even though it was in defeat?
Yeah, I think we definitely gave a better effort against Heights and Euclid than we gave last night. I think we had a different mindset going into different games, and it's definitely a better effort.
Like she said, the effort was good, but we the small thing. With us being a young team, we make a lot of simple mistakes, like especially when we really don't need them. Like we'll take 5 steps ahead, take about 6 back.
Coach is shaking his head yes.
And he coaching his butt off, but with us being a young team, people everybody's going through their learning mistakes. A lot of people are trying to get their mental together. It's tough.
They have to grow faster.
Yeah,
they have to grow up as a faster pace, because going into the season, we had a mindset of who we had and the team ready. And having Jenna gone, had a lot of freshmen and sophomore has to step up, and they have to grow fast, which they're growing at a faster rate, but just not fast enough right now.
It's still early in the season.
It's still the beginning of the season.
There's a lot of room for growth as the season goes along.
Yeah. And a lot of people are nervous, and it's kind of blocking their game. And the free throw percentage is not as high as we need it to be because,
learning.
Yeah.
Do you guys think, as being a young team, that the speed of the game is a little fast for you right now? And at some point, as you guys gel as a team, it might slow down to the point where you can get some of those little things corrected?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Our half-court set it's a little tough on us right now because a lot of people don't know the different cuts, and they don't have the IQ up there yet. But then on a fast break or something, like we got a lot of fast, strong guards. That's basically what people know.
I believe slowing down the game and going through plays is a little harder for us right now.
Yeah.
Running through the plays and executing plays, that's what we're
that's our toughest
difficult right now. So because we're very athletic, so we can really run the floor, and that's so.
Defensively, I think we're doing good. Yeah.
Defensively, we just get into that half-court setting.
So do you think, girls, from an offensive perspective, that because you guys are so long, part of the problem that you guys are running into is that your freshmen are trying to play like sophomores and your sophomores are trying to play like juniors because they know that the issues that you guys have with being so young, and while mentally maybe they're there, physically they're not there yet? if that makes sense.
No, it's actually
I think
physically,
opposite.
yeah,
I think
physically
we're there.
Physically, they're there. Mentally,
Mentally,
it's
they're
just not
trying
quite
to-
there yet.
Yeah, they're trying to grow mentally. They're trying to get the aspect of.
because right now we don't have a solid first five. And so everybody who is coming out and starting, a lot of them, it's their first time starting a game. So they're like, okay, I'm under a lot of pressure. If I don't do this, then, well, they feel as if I don't do this right, then I'm coming out. He's not going to start me again. He might not play me again.
Okay.
But the way coach is set up, he gives everybody a chance, maybe 2 or 3, to get yourself together. And a lot of them, it's just nervous. Their nerves get to them, and
So even though coach may have made it readily apparent that, hey, ladies, you don't have to look over your shoulder. It's not one mistake and you're coming out. That a lot of your teammates, unfortunately, are still kind of playing that way.
right.
Yeah, they're still feeling that pressure.
And
we know the issue is being young, and we need to grow at a faster pace right now. So they have that. It's always that pressure. Like,
Yeah, and then
they need me.
we don't have a lot of scorers right now. Most of our team, we're like a defensive fast break type of team. So we're trying to work people in, get people in different drills, set up different plays and stuff to get everybody in scoring. Because quite frankly, we're doing great on defense. We just have to score.
Yeah.
Talk about your point guard, who I was pretty impressed with the other night, and I know she's just a sophomore, correct? I was definitely impressed with her the first time I got to see her play live, and I had heard a little bit about her. She definitely seems like she gets the feel of the game. She's not one of those underclassmen who seem to be striving, although she has great room for improvement also. But speak about her and what it's been for her to take over the offense and sort of run things.
So Kayla, for her, is coming from Twinsburg. I think she had that for her freshman year. She was the starting point guard there. So having that pressure, not pressure, but being able to control the team and start a play, it's not that difficult for her. But she still has room to grow, as you said. And it's been, quite frankly, easy. Not easy, but a great adjustment.
The transitions went pretty well.
Yeah, it went very well. Like, for her to get to step in this program, and she stepped in very well and came in and adjusted very well. You still got to get her into a leader role, as you say,
a leadership role. I got you.
Yeah, because she's still young, she's still a sophomore, and she still make little minor mistakes. But coming in from Twinsburg as a freshman starter point guard, it wasn't that hard for her to come in and.
I feel like she's a great asset to the team because you guys know that 2 years ago we had Ace.
Right.
Last year we didn't really have a solid point guard. We had a 2-guard running at the point guard position, and I feel like it gives her time to grow with people who want to play with her, people who are gonna help her set up plays along with her doing what she needs to do, stuff like that. She's a great player.
Yeah.
And I know that she's gonna score.
Yeah,
she's gonna get the ball
give us that
hoop.
score.
She's gonna play some defense.
It's just a matter of time, probably.
Right.
Yeah,
And then,
she's there right now.
She's there.
And I happen to think the other night, just with the point guard's ability to penetrate and get to the basket, how many open looks Jenna would get on the perimeter, and it's unfortunate you guys don't have her.
The practice that really hurt us.
You're an emotional player.
Yeah. But
That's okay. I was too.
But yeah, I just
don't want to.
Yeah, I feel like it's making me better as a player because had Jenna still been here, I feel like I would have still been in that secondary spotlight to where it wouldn't necessarily force me to. It's better that I get it early and as opposed to waiting till my senior year to try and learn how to score more and all of that.
Right.
I've been working on my shooting. Of course, I'm nowhere near Jenna. I'm nowhere near Jenna, but I'm working and I'm trying to at least make up for some of the points that she would have put on the board because she was averaging about 18 last year.
Well, diamonds are formed under pressure, so that's a good thing. So my question for you, Talia, is being the only senior now with Jenna down, that obviously means, and you referenced it a little bit, much more of a leadership role for you. What does that mean, and how have you tried to handle that and be a leader to your teammates and almost be a second coach on the floor to Coach Winters?
So getting in this role, it's kind of, I'm going to say, honestly, it's been harder for me. So I knew I had to step and be a leader this year. And I knew if I had Jenna, like, she was, like, a help. But it's been, like, a lot harder on me because
That's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah. So making sure the team is good and making sure I'm setting a great example for them. I believe that it's definitely, I'm just going to say it's a learning experience right now. I'm learning. Coach is in my ear constantly about that leading role, and I feel like I'm getting there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not there yet, but I'm trying to be the best leader that I can be. Great example, set an example for the bigs, and yeah, I'm learning. So
Okay.
Yeah, ladies, so who are some of the teams you're looking forward to playing this year? Obviously, Mayfield, I'm sure, is one of them, but who are like some of the top teams you guys are going to play?
I'm looking forward to East Lake North. I need that back. I need that. Just from last year, it's just
I feel like it's a rivalry between us because
of the WRC.
Yeah, the year before we won the championship. Last year they won. I feel like they can't win 2 years ago.
You can't let that slide.
That's not allowed to happen.
It's not gonna be an easy one for them. So we gon' that's what I'm looking forward to. I've been looking forward since last year. Oh my God! I'm like, can we get next year? Come on, let's play them again. That's definitely a big one for me.
What do you think the toughest place is to play in the conference?
The toughest one to play.
Toughest place to play in the conference.
East
Not
Lake.
necessarily the toughest team, but the toughest environment to play. Right.
East Lake North.
North.
Every time we go there, it's
always.
I don't know, that crowd. that crowd.
I think everywhere is tough for me.
Just not being in the friendly confines here of your own gymnasium.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was at a North Brush girls game, not last year, it was the year before. And their student section is very rowdy, and they're rowdy for the boys too. They're just like that for the boys too. No matter how good or bad they are, North's always had a very good student section. But the rivalry between the two schools the last couple of years has been.
And that gym, I think, with the darker tones,
the lighting,
and the lighting, it feels like it kind of is closing in on you a little bit.
The lighting, at least they did improve the lighting in there from years ago when we used to go there. But because it used to be like that gym used to be, it seemed like it was yellow, and then you have that orange and black coming from
I feel like it's
that old recessed lighting was awful.
Right.
At least it's now at least it's LED now, but that old recessed lighting was terrible.
Well, when you played, they probably were using candlelight.
It's still
Damaris will tell you that he played in that gym. He knows.
All right, we talked about a lot of the things that you guys are struggling to come with as a young team. What's been the most fun part of the group that you got going right now?
I like
it's like a big family. Like last year we had a few different it was just everybody was coming into themselves, and it was just a lot going on with the seniors and the underclassmen, but it's like everybody now, it's like a sisterhood. And it's like we go to war, it's us against the world.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's just like the best thing that we could get.
For me, it's the fast pace that we got this year. Like, I love how fast we can get the ball up the floor and how athletic we are. Like, I love that part of it. I don't feel like we have to slow anything down.
Yeah.
I love that part of us right now. So.
And I like that. Unlike last year, where sometimes if something went wrong, like the whole game just turned. This year, if we make a mistake, we're gonna get yelled at about it. But we turn right back around and we come back with some force and some.
I feel like the more pressure we get, I think we handle it better. As you can say, I feel like with the people we have now, if we put under pressure, we do good under pressure.
And we can run all 15 this year.
Yeah.
The entire bench gets in.
I don't think it's not that much of a difference.
Yeah.
You won't see that much of a difference.
Yeah, because it's not like coach is trying to find somebody to put in. He turns around, he's like,
oh, you in.
Yeah.
Get in.
So the first 5, second 5, third 5, first 5 again. Like Yeah.
It's that. It's
So
that
you may
much
be young,
advanced.
but you got a lot of depth. It sounds
Yeah,
like,
we
got a lot
which is really good.
Force coming.
Yeah.
And-
And
and-
nobody is sorry on our team. Nobody.
We ain't got nobody
It's a
coming.
it's a lot of healthy competition. I can definitely say that.
And it sounds like some of that mental growth that you guys are talking about that the team needs. It sounds like it's happening.
Yeah. We're in the process.
Yeah.
We're gonna
They
get
get
there.
there.
I think within the next few games, I'm not gonna say we're gonna be 100%,
Right.
but
It's growing each game.
yeah,
You can see it growing each game.
And off the court too, it seems like. Just like
Yeah.
you said, the family and the friendship and the
Mhm.
camaraderie and that type of thing.
yeah.
So since our esteemed colleague Danny is not here, I'm going to ask the typical Danny question. So, basketball takes up a lot of your time. School takes up a lot of your time. What do you ladies like to do when you have some free time and to unwind and just kind of take it down a notch?
Shopping.
Um,
I work too, so I like spending my money that I work for
Now, do you like to go places or you do it all online?
online. I got an addiction. I got an online shopping addiction. I really do. And my mom can't see what I'm spending, so
yeah.
But she can see this. So
I
Suddenly her computer's broke,
Yeah.
Pat. I don't know what happened. Mom had to send it out to get it fixed. It could be months.
yeah. I don't really get into the whole shopping thing. My mom does that for me. She's a fashionista. But I do dancing on the side, so I like to perform and stuff and
Okay.
travel and all kind of stuff if I'm not here in basketball.
So
But,
are you part of a dance group then?
Yes.
Okay. And when you talk about traveling, like where do you guys go?
all over the world. We've traveled to different countries,
Okay.
different states. We've gone to about 25 different states so far.
Oh wow, okay.
Is that school affiliated or independent?
No, one of my aunties runs a dance company. I do African dance.
Oh, very good.
So we've been to Africa, Dubai, stuff like that.
Oh,
Like
wow.
different states here. We've gone to different countries in Africa. But yeah. And that's kind of like I like that I can do the two and they not like really go at each other.
They don't conflict.
Yeah, with dancing, I can just go whenever I want to.
Mhm.
Basketball, and it's like a family atmosphere in both.
Yeah. Do you find that one helps the other?
Yes, actually, when I came back from Africa, I was jumping out of the gym. We danced every day in that hot sand, but it definitely helps, and it helps keep my body loose. It's almost like more active yoga for me,
Mhm.
and it helps relax my mind a lot. So
Good deal.
What are you guys looking forward to post high school? Anything you want to study in particular? Any schools that you're already looking at in particular? Obviously, you being a senior, so you have another year yet. But
Right.
obviously, it can never be too soon to start thinking about that. Maybe you study dances in college, possibly.
I'm really good at math, so I'm thinking about going into maybe the engineering field or maybe an accountant, something around that area.
Very good.
I'm looking into the medical field. I definitely want to be somewhere in the medical field. I don't know what to yet, but I know it's a lot of options. And at school-wise,
you don't get a lot of free time to shop when you go in the medical field.
I know, but I got a lot
So
of
you
money
know.
to shop online. I'm gonna have a computer,
Right.
and I can be at work shopping online.
Not while you're performing surgery. You can't. That might be a little
Give
bit
me
of a
a
problem.
scalpel and
Mr. Smith needs a new spleen, and
Can you just press enter real quick? Just press pay. Confirm it.
Yeah.
So yeah. At school wise, I have some schools looking at me, but it's undecided.
I want to play basketball in school. It's all about where I'm gonna go.
Mhm.
But I know that basketball it helps open up other opportunities for me. Not to mention it's just something that I love to do.
Mhm.
And it's something I want to continue to do for the rest of my life. Well, at
Yeah.
least as long as I'm able.
Right.
So
College athletics on the resume definitely opens doors. Employers have a very healthy respect for knowing what you went through, and I think it puts you in situations where, on another level from in high school, where you're dealing with difficult people, dealing with people you maybe don't get along with.
right.
dealing with people with different agendas.
Mm-hmm.
I think that employers really can respect that, and I think that that's very wise that you recognize that now, that may pay a lot of dividends in the future.
Yeah.
Well, I got one last question for you, and I ask this every time we do one of these, be it football, be it basketball. What would be a successful year for you guys as a team?
As a record rise? Like,
no, well, just whatever goals do you have as a team, and maybe goals you have for individual wise?
My individual goal for myself is when I come out of the year to be a better person, to be a better me, as in a better, like just me being put in that leadership role. Definitely a better me. As in basketball wise, a goal is set for myself is to average more points.
Well, my goal is to only go to states. Like a great year for me, I want to win states. I want to bring something back from my school, say that I did something, leave my mark. A personal goal for me is, like she said, leave as a better me. Basketball is teaching me a lot of different things, how to deal with different people, deal with different situations and stuff. And
adversity.
Yeah. And like scoring wise, I want to be able to I want to be that player that you're going to have a problem with both offensively and defensively when I step on the court.
Hey, ladies, I got a question. To what extent do you, the boys team and your team, kind of support each other? Like going to each other's games and that kind of thing?
Oh, yeah. We make sure after every practice we're front row at their games.
And they come to your games too?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They come
yeah.
to
Yeah.
They constantly ask how we do.
Yeah.
They defeated it. We lost. They defeated too. They're like, dang, like, I just got asked that when I walked in the gym. Like, how y'all do? I'm like, we didn't get it. It's like, dang.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a support there. Like, we constantly see them. They come see us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even the coaches, they're like
constantly in our ear. They
each
talk to us
system,
too.
we support each other, like from coaches on down to players, even the parents, like everybody. It's a large family.
Support. They definitely the support system.
Delay, I have to say this. I love the fact that your goal, whether you guys can pull it off or not, is not just to get to a state final, but it's to win a state championship. And I think, we've all seen a lot of sports. We see it in football. Teams that, if the goal is to get there, well, you get there, then what?
Right.
Right? Not wanting to win it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to win it.
Right.
But it seems like you can tell sometimes the difference between the teams that set the goal of winning a championship and the teams that set the goal at simply to get there.
Yes, sir.
Right? And there's, okay, well, we got here. Now what?
Right.
No. The goal's supposed to be to win it, right?
Right.
So I can appreciate the fact that you've thought it through to that standpoint where you're like,
But the girls program did win a district title and did get down to the regionals, but lost in the regional semis to Kent McKinley that year, if I'm not mistaken. So they were the first ones they were the first in either program. That was the first district championship in basketball ever in Brush's history.
Well, hopefully we can do it again this year.
there you go. There you go. So, and any final questions for the ladies?
I don't have any final questions. I do want to say I appreciate you taking some time. I know that you're missing, I think Coach said 2 hours of free throws.
Free throw practice.
And some film.
We were able to get you 26 minutes off of that. But, I don't know if you have to make that up after or not, but we want to thank you very much for taking some time to talk to us, and we wish you the very best of luck, and we'll be following you as the year goes.
You just set the made free throw barrier at 26, Pat.
Right, just said that in his head.
I don't think I made 26 free throws in my entire career.
Thank you for having us.
No, thank you,
really
ladies. Really
ladies.
appreciate it. Thanks for answering all our questions. You guys did a fantastic job. We really appreciate it. Kicking off our basketball state of the program.
Yes, it's tough to call them previews because
Yes.
everybody's season has started in some way, shape, or form. So I kind of I made that title up. I liked it.
Football ran a little long for us because of some of the teams we covered.
Yeah, right. Well,
So-
we covered Kirtland all the way through the state championship game. That kind of cut into our time a little bit to cover hoops, but we're going to try to give hoop coverage as much as we can, both boys and girls. A little bit on the college side as well as we did a little bit on the football side. We're going to be at John Carroll next week Thursday with the men's program. But again, can't thank you ladies enough for for stepping up and leading off our coverage. And we're going to have a little conversation with your coach. You ladies can go shoot some free throws and watch a little bit of film. And I really, I'm impressed by the fact that you stepped in. And I think you set a good example for anybody who's out there watching, for your teammates, for people who know you. And that's one of the great things for us is that we find that everybody likes to coach, but, man, everybody loves seeing their son or daughter, their neighbor's kid, their niece or their nephew, their grandson or their granddaughter, have a couple minutes in front of the camera and on the mic.
Yeah.
So hopefully your families will feel the same way.
You guys have set the bar now for us for the rest of the,
There we go.
the basketball
Did we
season.
set it high?
Absolutely, yes.
And when you're out shopping, remember, TalkBackFans.
That's right. Yeah.
Christmas is coming.
That's right.
All right.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, ladies. Really appreciate it.
And good luck on the rest of the season.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Now we'll be joined by head coach Damaris Winters.
The man, the myth, the legend, Damaris Winters.
I don't know if we'd go that far, but the esteemed,
Spoken as
Esteemed. There we go,
spoken as
esteemed.
somebody that-
esteemed, the esteemed
Wherever you need
Damaris
to sit.
Winters.
Let's see here. All
Welcome
right.
aboard.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
How are
thank
you?
I'm great. How about yourself?
You're always great. You are always so positive.
I try to
You
be.
always have the. I don't think I've ever known you, even when you went here and played here, that you had a bad outlook on anything.
Listen, man. I'm just living, man. I'm living. I've been blessed, and I try to bless other people, and it's just good stuff going on, man.
Man,
Even
good.
when it's difficult, it's good.
Yeah. So give us a little bit of your history, Coach. When did you play here, and then kind of take us from there to your current position?
Okay. 1990. Played here through. I went here 94 through 98.
Okay.
Graduated in 98. Played under the great coach David Allen,
Our good
Yes.
friend.
who taught me so much. He's part of the reason why I have that positive attitude. I would say that I do have. Taught me a lot of things about being a man. Taught me a lot of things about being a player, a coach, a leader. All those different things. When you're on time, if you're on time, you're late. Everything. Playing a point guard position, just being a leader. And he's one of the favorite people in my life. I know he used to call me his favorite player. I'm not sure if I'm his favorite player still. I don't know. We got Roy, maybe.
As point,
Roy Farrell,
Farrell,
maybe,
yeah, it's a lot of guys. Will Brand, who I played with, he was excellent as well. So,
One of his favorites.
there you go. One of his favorites.
as part of his
One
coaching staff, he told all of you guys that.
Exactly. So that's it. So graduated there. As far as coaching is concerned, I was at Richmond Heights from 13 through 16 before I came here. I had the opportunity to coach my daughter, who ended up in 2016 being the runner-up for Miss Ohio. Ended up going to Seton Hall University. I coached her for 3 years.
Mhm.
And then after that, we lost in the district final. Monique Evans, who was a point guard, who went on to go to Toledo. A couple other girls on that team. 4 other girls on that team went to play D2 JUCO basketball. So I came here in 16. Won 16 games in a row. Ariel DeBase and Deja Mia Martin was the other one that went with Ariel DeBase. And last year was kind of like a rebuilding thing, sort of a rebuilding thing for us. We fought hard. We were a good team. We lost a couple games by 6-7 points, 5-6 points or less. We ended up being almost 510-12. And but we had I think it was solid because of the moving parts. I think it was a pretty solid year. We could have did a little bit better. But Perry Jenna was injured at the beginning of the last season. She was injured for half the season last year, who's a very, 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 very good player. And to her credit, she worked so hard coming off the injury, came in last year. She wasn't herself, but she still gave us what she had. The work that she put in this summer, we were a state contender in the summertime. We had Jeter, who you seen. DeLea was our other guard with Jenna on the other wing with the new point guard coming in. And we have a sophomore by the name of Quintea Ali, who last year she brought down 17 rebounds in the East Lake North game. I mean, this kid can jump, So that was our starting 5. We probably went in the summertime. I always count records. So we went like 25 and maybe 4 in the summertime. I mean, we're rolling. First scrimmage, Jenna goes in for a layup at Cat McKinley. Someone blocks it. She falls down. She's limping to get up. I thought she was okay. She wasn't. Tore her MCL. MCL tear, out for the rest of the season. So that's where we are. Devastating for us. That kid can shoot. I think the kid can shoot the ball better than anyone in our area. The work that she put in, she was going to come into the season not only being able to shoot, but we added to her game. She could take it to the hole. She could take it to the rack. She got a pull-up jumper. She was ready to show everyone that she was more than just a shooter. And our team fed off that. That was 18 points a game. That was our second best ball handler, as our leader. And she went down, and now we're fighting to try to find players and put them in position. But it's a fun ride. You know, I don't feel bad for me. I feel bad for Jenna.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's my story.
What took you towards the girls' game?
Oh, my daughter. I would say my daughter. I tell you, Bob Butel will tell you. So Bob Butel is the historical coach from Gilmore Academy, who's over at West G now.
Yeah, who was at East Lake North for a long time before that.
Forever, absolutely. So I'm sitting in the stands watching my daughter play her freshman year. They're the number 7 seed. Richmond may have won about 5 or 6 games that season before I came over. I was a middle school coach, so I coached my daughter in middle school, and we were pretty good middle school team.
Mm-hmm.
So it's her freshman year. We're in the state tournament. This is when there was a neutral site in the first couple rounds. Now you get the home site in the first couple rounds. So we're out in St. Joseph's Academy, I believe, and Gilmore thumps Richmond by 70, and I'm upset. Never again. Not my kid. So so things happen. I was the coach the next year. And that's where it was. That really gave me the motivation to do it. And it helped to come full circle. We beat Gilmore 2 years later in the district final in a really, really big game. And it's been on ever since.
Let me ask you, I was going to touch on your success that you had at Richmond Heights because I was aware of it.
Mm-hmm.
So when you had the opportunity to come here to coach here, was it a difficult decision to leave Richmond Heights because of the success that you had? Or was it an easier decision? Were you looking to leave, or was it an easier decision when you had the opportunity to come and coach at your alma mater?
You know what? It was that's a great question. It's a mixture of kind of both. You know, I didn't want to leave. We were graduating. When I left Richmond Heights, we were graduating the whole starting 5. You know, we were graduating. Those girls were all going to college. The whole starting 5 was going to college and the 6 man. So it was a rebuilding. I was looking forward to the rebuilding stage.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm kind of guy. Listen, I like basketball either way. I like life either way. I like it when it's tough. I like it when it's good. I like it when it's so. I was looking forward to the rebuilding, and coming back to do the same thing that we just did with the younger kids, kind of like what we're doing now. So here at Brush, but so when the opportunity arose at Brush, I kicked it over with my wife, you know, and talked to the people at Richmond Heights to let them know, listen, this is what's happening. I got an opportunity to do this. I don't know if I'm gonna do it or not, but this may be a good opportunity for me. You know, I looked at the roster, then I came in and seen some familiar faces, and it just gave me I was rejuvenated. Not that I was down, but I was rejuvenated as an arc. You know, so where do you go? In what life can you coach your daughter to almost a state championship, see her off to a Division I scholarship, and then go play for your alma mater? Not too many people get to do that. So I decided to take the job.
Yeah. Damaris, what's the 1 or 2 things that you want a Damaris Winter coach player to take with them, not only to the next level, but into life?
Another great question. One is
we get that a lot, by the way.
You guys are good. Well, the first thing is be great. Whatever you do, just be great. At least try to be great. I don't care if you're at the end of the bench, if you can't shoot free, whatever it is that you do, try to be great at it. Don't just do it. Don't just come to work and go through the motions. That's my biggest pet peeve. Don't just come. If you're going to come and play for me, run hard, even if you're slow. Shoot it if you're open. Work on your handles. Work on your dribbling. Work on your defense. So we want to be great in all aspects. I take that in life. I take that as a coach. I take that as a mentor to the players, to the boys. Whatever it is that we do, listen, be great. I just told Big John that. Big John Hughley that plays for us. Be great, man. Don't go through the motions. You're 6'10". Act like you're 16. Everybody's not blessed to be 6'10", 270.
And that's a great point, because I've seen over the years, and I was accused of this at one point way back when, 6'6", 6'7", 6'8", 6'9", play like they're you're 6'10", you should make it easier. Dominate. Go ahead. Dominate.
Exactly. That's just one example. Listen, you're 6'10", you're something, and he's been 1 through 15 can play. I never had that before. Even at Brush, even the first year when we did all those good things, I've never had 1 through 15. Not at all. Any one of these girls could really start. So my challenge is to put the right people in at the right time, and this, that, and the other. And it's a challenge for me. We're starting to do it. But if I could throw 15 at you and you only can throw 7 at me, I should have the advantage. So the first thing, I'm telling all those 15 girls, even the JV girls, be great. And secondly, is just work hard. That's a part of being great. Work hard. Once again, not just on the basketball court, but whatever you do. I'm always looking at, I'm taking plays from the Cavaliers. I'm taking plays from these college coaches. I'm looking at YouTube. We got YouTube now, so we don't have to wait for a seminar or whatever it may be. Our girls are very smart girls. We run 21 sets. I mean, that's tough. Most teams run 1 or 2, maybe 3. Mm-hmm. We run 21. We're throwing 21 at you. And they learn. And that's, you asked about Kayla, the point guard. She's a sophomore, but she's picking it up.
You could see it the other night. I was really impressed with her. She's lightning quick. She's got a great handle. Mm-hmm. Probably still needs a little bit of work on her left hand. Her right hand, though, I mean, she's absolutely fantastic.
Yes.
I was just thoroughly impressed with her. But it seems like when she got in a little foul trouble the other night against Euclid. So when she was out of the game, you struggled a little bit for somebody who could handle the ball and run the offense. I did notice that.
Absolutely. Jenna, again,
right.
Exactly. That was our second best ball handler as well as our best shooter. So, but we have kids that could do it. And as the girl said, they're just, this process was sped up when the Perry injury happened. So that's my second thing, is just work hard, man. If you want to be great and you want to work hard, you can play for me. You don't have to be 7 feet. You don't have to be the fastest kid, the best kid. I never cut, by the way. So Brush is going to have, Brush has to order 40-something jerseys, because I'm going to find a place for you. It may not be on a 15-man varsity roster, but you can play a little bit JV, even if you're a senior. If you want to play and you want to work hard, you're welcome to this family.
I was going to say, what do you find? I don't like to use the word challenging. Mm-hmm. I think, what do you find? I'm going to have to use it because the other word is difficult. And when you have a young team, to get them to buy into what it is you're doing, what do you find the most challenging part of that in your job as coach?
A lot of times, I got to give you the great question. Words as well. So great question, by the way.
Jay, you better have a good one, man. The bar's been set really high.
What I find is you're asking. Sometimes you ask players to do things that they just can't do yet. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm asking when Kayla goes down. When Kayla White, our point guard, excellent point guard, goes down with 3 fouls in the first half, for someone else to step up that can't really handle the ball. I'm asking for 2 weeks ago, I'm in the gym. I look up, and you guys have probably had this before with your kids, with your job, or whatever it may be. I said, I have 13 freshmen and sophomores. I mean, I knew it, but it really hit me. 2 weeks ago, it's like, man, this is unheard of, pretty much. It's great in the future, but for right now, we have to go through our bumps and bruises. We have 15 on the roster. Jenna was a senior. Talia Jeter was a senior. Delia Johnson is a junior. Everyone else is underclassmen. And I'm looking around like, man, this is good. And this is actually great. But right now, we'll have to go through the process. So what I see is you're asking kids to do things, even mentally. Mentally, a close game, you're asking a kid that was on JV last year or in the 8th grade last year playing middle school ball to go against a Constance Chapman, to go against a Destiny Leo at East Lake North in that dark gym with a Paul Force coach team. That's tough. It's tough. So you're asking to put them in a position where they're not quite ready yet, but that's how you see if they're ready or not. That's how you see who's going to step up and who can't.
Yeah, you're asking them to get a stop against a girl who's 3 years older than
Absolutely.
they are. You're asking them to hit a jump shot over a girl who's 3 years more experienced than they are. You're asking them to hit a foul shot with 12 seconds left in a tight game.
Exactly, with a crowd such as the East Lake North or Cleveland Heights or a Euclid crowd. So while it's going to be very good, it's challenging at this current in our current situation.
Yeah, Coach, what I was wondering is, over the years that you've been a coach, have you kind of developed a certain style that you use, or do you sort of tailor things to your personnel?
Both. So we want to run. I think we, like the girl said, they enjoy getting up and down. We enjoy getting up and down. But I do tailor it a little bit towards. So we come in running. We have so many quick hitters, so many sets for Jenna. She wasn't just getting open by herself, So we had out of the 21 sets that we do run, probably 8 of them, or maybe more than that, maybe 50% was for her to get a shot off. A double screen, a staggered screen, a door slam, what we call a slam the door, where a double screen that closes pretty quickly. So when you don't have that, you have to tailor it towards something else. So some of those sets that we run aren't being ran the right way, or they aren't being successful because the person shooting is not as good as Jenna was. So they're wide open as Mr. Fasiglia is saying. Mr. Fasiglia.
Oh, please don't do that.
He's not the oldest guy in this panel, Coach.
As he seen the other day, they're open. And they're just missing the shot. So now we have to tailor it. Maybe we have to set the screen a little bit earlier so it's not a 3-point shot. Maybe a mid-range shot. Maybe we have to strengthen up, and we do have to strengthen up in the half-court set and run some different things through our bigs. Run some different screens. So I like to run. That's what I like to do. A lot of times you can't with the young team. They turn the ball over. They do. But so I tailor it a lot towards the team.
Hey, Coach, on defense, do you kind of, with the young team, do you kind of keep it simple, or do you really run multiple defenses?
We run multiple defenses. We run we run a full court press. We run a man. We run a 2-3. We run what we call a green 1-3-1, where we run a regular 1-3-1. Then we run a green 1-3-1, which we trap on the sidelines. We run what we call Spider-Man red, Spider-Man blue. Spider is a 2-2-1 zone where we do different things if it's red or blue. What else do we run? We run something. We run 4 across, which is really successful for us. Where on a foul shot or on a dead ball, we'll sub a quicker person, and we front you. We put 4 girls in front of the other 4 girls, and no one on the ball. She plays off, and we don't let the ball in. We switch on every screen. Try not to let the ball in. So that's pretty good for us. That works because of our athleticism and our strength and our quickness. That works but you can't do it. You only can do it on the dead ball. So
now you can't replace, obviously, Jenna,
right,
from a player perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you looking for to maybe multiple people to kind of fill that void? Who are you looking at from that perspective as coach?
Well, the 2 girls that you guys had on earlier are our oldest, most experienced girls in our program. So we're definitely looking towards them. Delia Johnson can really, really shoot the ball. She gets nervous at times. I don't understand why. I don't know if it's I don't know, but she just does. I mean, she's a great kid. That's why I think she gets nervous. She's just a great kid, So, but she can really shoot it, man. I mean, this kid can shoot. She's not as good as Jenna, but she could. She's on her way. So I'm looking for her, and I'm looking for Talia Jeter to take up some slack, to step up and cause some havoc down in that paint and score some points. But there's a lot of other different. I mean, Kayla, like you said, the point guard, she's a scoring point guard, so she can really score. She can really play. Other kids, we have a lot of interchangeable parts. Have a lot of guards. We have about 7 or 8 guards that can play. We have 5 or 6 bigs that can play. Right now, we're just trying to figure out who can do what with that pressure, who we can put in at what time. I think it's coming together. It came together a little bit last night. We struggled a little bit in the first quarter, but the second, third, and fourth quarter was pretty good for us. We gave us some defensive layups that I wouldn't have liked to give up. But to answer your question, those are the 2 that we're looking for to step up. But if we can get 6 or 7 from about 7 or 8 kids, we should be okay, and that's very doable.
Mm-hmm.
That's very doable.
Yeah, Coach, I think you should be commended for both Delia and Talia. I mean, they're both very intelligent, very articulate.
Thank you.
I think Delia is I think a little bit more of a thinking man's player, so to speak, very cerebral, as Danny would say. That makes her armed and gregarious, right, Pat? You played the men's game. Now you're coaching the women's game. Do you think there are things that are easier that the women pick up on quicker than the guys do? Maybe because of ego, attitude, whatever.
You know what? I think it's I don't know if I should say this, but I think I would go to the boys' game and be very, very successful. Just because I can't rely on you have to know basketball coaching young ladies. I mean, the
can't fake it.
No, you can't fake it. You have to know the X's and O's in order for these kids to get – because what I've learned is that in the boys' game, someone can be just so physical that he can dominate you. Right? And you got 2 or 3 of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
You can just make the coach look pretty good. Here, you can have a better girl. I think my daughter was stronger. She was long. But she wasn't as dominant as a boy would be dominant over another boy.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah,
you know what I mean. So she could run a little bit faster, but it wasn't as she's a 10 and you're a 7. As the boy he's a 10 and you're a 2. He's a, you know what I mean. He can take the game over. So while there are better girls, the level or the it's not as much. I'm not. The girls are not as dominant as the boys could be dominant in the boys' game. In other words, so that with their lacking the athleticism. I don't want to say lacking, but the athleticism is a little bit different. So I have to put the girls in position to get them open to do different things, right? So I can just throw the alley-oop to the like for me, I would.
You got a 6'10" guy. You're throwing the ball up on the top.
Right. Delia says she could jump through the gym after she came back from Africa, but you're not running. You're not throwing her alley oops.
No, she can slap the backboard maybe, but she's not.
You're not throwing her alley oops. I got you.
Actually, we do have a girl that can touch the rim. By the way.
Okay.
By the way, Asia Nicholson is a freshman. Listen for that name. She can touch the rim right now.
Let me ask you this. And just because I know some of your history, and you and I have had multiple conversations on multiple subjects, not just basketball.
Everything.
When you first came here, you walked into a fantastic situation. You had an entire team back, I think, except for one player from the previous year, and then Jenna walked in as a freshman.
Right.
Did you find it, and your style of coaching, which is very outlandish, very boisterous, and you're not afraid to say what you feel, did some of your opposing coaches who you hadn't seen before because you came from the Division IV level to the Division I level in high school, was that an adjustment for you and for them, but also for you?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, if you know me, you know, so you've seen me coach several times. So I don't know, the News Herald, I've been in the News Herald several times. So listen, when we're on the court, we're at war. When we're off the court, you're my buddy. They had to get used to that. So they were taking this stuff, you know, they were taking it personal. Like, who is this guy? You know, it's like, nah, it's after you played a good game, you beat me, you won, I beat you, I won, that's it. But here, when that thing tips off, I don't like you, Paul Force. You know what I mean? I don't like you, whoever, all those conference guys or whatever it may be. And I don't care who won what. I don't care what your record is. I got some stuff over here too. So that's my whole attitude, right? So, and it was the same way as a player. Who cares? You know, I know I practice hard, so I'm going to try.
Amen, Coach. Amen.
And it's not a disrespect. You don't have disrespect for your opponent, but your approach seems to be more of respect what we're bringing.
Exactly. That's it. You know, so yeah. To answer your question, it was they were. I didn't think they liked it at first.
No,
until they got to know me.
I'll tell you.
They love me now.
I'll tell you they didn't like it, and you and I talked about it.
Yeah. I didn't care though. I really didn't care. It was really not in my. I don't really care too much about me as a person. I really don't care. Listen, I'll never disrespect another person ever. Am I competitive? Absolutely. So if you take it that way, I never cussed at you. I never said your mom. You know, I never. You know, I just said, hey, listen, you can't stop her.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Coach, how's the conference shaping up? Who are some of the favorites?
North, Kinston, Chardon. We lost to Chardon last night. That was a pretty. Listen, listen. This is full of great kids and full of great coaches. Full of them from top to bottom. Joel Wolf at Riverside, good coach. he just doesn't have the talent to compete on a night in and night out basis with the things that some of us have that's in the top 4 or whatever it may be. You got Mike Carino, who has some juice behind his name. That just
high
came
school classmate of mine.
to Willoughby South. Listen, that guy can coach. You know,
Neighbor of mine growing next to each other. I've known Michael since we were,
Good.
15 years old.
good dude. Me and Mike are good friends. We went at it last year at the end of the game.
That doesn't sound like Mike.
No, not at all.
No.
No, I haven't seen him and Mike coaching it together. That'd be fun.
You should get the tape from the last game. Listen, up. And I might have been, I don't know if I'm, I don't even, we're up, right? We're up about 20. So I got my bench in. My girls are going to the hole. I said, Mike, tell him to call a foul or I'm putting my players back in. That's it. You may or may not agree. I don't care. I don't really care. This is what I'm going to do because we're setting the precedence for the future, right? So stop. I said, this is a foul. That's a foul. They're trying to get out of there, whatever it may be. Mike, second time, tell him to call a foul or I'm putting my kids back in. The kids that can handle it. Because you got your starters in still. Okay, cool. You're not going to do it? Okay, all 5 go back in. Come on, D. Come on. Yo, because I'm trying to help you, help me. And I'm trying to help you. I'll keep the girls, the end of the bench in if we. So that was and we kind of had words about that. Now, you may or may not think I'm right or wrong. I don't really care. But I thought I was right. So, and the reason being is because, listen, the foul is a foul at the end of the day. Doesn't matter who did it. Doesn't matter who. They used to tell me my daughter, she's strong enough to take that. No, that was a foul, bro. That was a foul. So I don't care if she's strong enough to get an N1 or not, if she's strong enough to take it or not. If that's a foul on that end, that's a foul on this end. Let's keep it even. Now,
That sounds like a lot what LeBron goes through pretty much every night.
Pretty much. But if you're not going to call it, that's cool too. Don't call it either way. So that's my whole thing. So that's my Mike career.
Coming back to your alma mater, the administration, rolled out the red carpet for you since you are.
Listen, this is home. This is what it's going to be. A lot of familiar faces when I came. I didn't even care about the pay. The only thing I wanted was gym time. Just don't deny me gym time. Everything else is great. So from Linda Reed, Miss Linda Reed on down to Mr. Atwood now, Mike Murphy is a great dude. Kim Fasiglia is my favorite.
She should be.
We know. I mean,
she should be.
You're constantly texting with her.
Listen,
I never know what the heck's going on.
Listen,
Somebody's got to talk to her, Eric.
I'm texting her at 10 o'clock at night. What time is the bus? And this time. She takes care of me so well. Our program, both programs actually, so well that it couldn't be a better person in that office for us. Carl, Mr. Williamson, Mr. Jackson, all those people, some teachers that I know. So yeah, the red carpet was pretty much rolled out. We don't have a problem at all. I've never had any issues ever. I think they know my style. They know what I want to do here. They know that our kids are going to be successful. They're going to go to college. And I'm going to work basically what Brush wants to do and how they want to be respectful, and we're going to be successful in the classroom. Let
me ask you. I got to ask you this too. So when you came from Richmond Heights to here, did you notice? Because and don't take this the wrong way, but from the you went to a Division I level coming from. Were you guys 3 or 4 when you were at Heights?
We were 3 the second year. We were 4
the first year.
First couple years.
So did you notice a difference in the divisions and in the style, not necessarily style of play, but maybe more depth, stronger, different because it was a higher level of a division?
Yeah.
And was it an adjustment for you?
Yeah, it was. Listen, I tell you, I'll give you a story. Actually, we were Division 4 my last year. We were Division 3 the first 2 years at Richmond. I'm sorry. So what happened was I come in, Coach Winters this is his record, and this is that and other, and he's an alma mater, and this, that, and we won the first game. Was our second game of the season versus Mentor. Mentor kills us by about 30. Quiet. It was packed. It's like, whoa. Everybody's on. I was kind of down. I was kind of discouraged. And after that game, we won 6 in a row. I had to adjust quickly, right? Girls, these are girls to choose from, who, we got some competition. The adjustment was we got to go a little bit harder. We got to be a little bit stronger. So we had myself and my staff had a conversation that night. Who Charlotte Powell was with me from Richmond Heights, who's my head assistant coach. Harold Russell, who played at Heights, was a very good basketball player at Heights and overseas. He's our JV coach now. So we sat down and had that conversation, and we had to go into this Division I thing with a whole different mind state.
Did also, I know Jay asked you about the conference and who you're looking forward to, but unfortunately, and I happen to know this because of News Herald, and then I also talked to a friend of mine who's a parent of a player at Mayfield. It seems like the conference is a little snake bit with Jenna getting hurt and Hallie Landis at Chardon getting hurt and the girl at Kenston getting hurt.
Right.
And I don't know what their prognoses are if they're out for the year also.
All out for the season.
Yeah, I mean, just comment on that. I mean, what a weird scenario that worked out to be 3 girls from 3 of the better programs all in the same conference.
Very, very. I know how.
And 3 good players.
Absolutely. So I know how it hit me. So it's very unfortunate. Listen, I'm about the player first. If you guys will always see that. So I feel bad for the girls, not the programs as well, but this is Jenna's senior year. I mean, this kid hit 9 threes in one game. This kid can shoot. This is a Division I shooter. Now I don't know about the rest of her game as far as Division I is concerned. That was a conversation that I was having with different college coaches, but this kid can shoot the ball, man. And to see her cry, to see her be that upset made me. I don't really cry. I was almost in tears. And I had to explain I couldn't let the program know how devastating that really was. As we're seeing it now, we're struggling for a shooter. That she pushes everyone in the right position. She pushes Johnson in the right position. She pushes Jeter. Jeter can average 10 points, 8 rebounds. If Jenna's here now, Talia Jeter's accounted for to get us 16, 15, 16, and then she pushes to do that. But sometimes it just doesn't, they're not going to get out your way. Jenna spaces the floor and opens things up for our quicker, stronger players, So, I mean, we've been snake bit as a conference. It's still some good, still going to be good play basketball in the conference. But I just feel sorry for the girls personally. I feel sorry because it's one of them is a junior, so maybe she can come back at 100%. But the rest of them are seniors. That's just bad. It's just bad luck.
Yeah. Hey, Coach, one of the joys of coaching I always hear is watching a player who maybe when they first start out isn't so good. And then by the time they're done, you watch them grow. And is there a girl that you can think of that fits that to a T? Like they just really wasn't so good when they first started, and then they were great by the time they were done.
Listen, I don't know if you guys know. Great question, by the way.
That's the 4-bagger. I'm on the board. He's on the board.
Ladies and gentlemen, they have hit the 4-P.
I can give you Danae Sanders, who I had last year, who's dominant last year. She was when I came here. I had her. She was a Richmond Heights kid for me in middle school. She was always fast and just wasn't under control. You ever seen those kids that are just fat? You're like, what are you doing? Why didn't you hit the square on the backboard? What are you slow down? She was that kid, fast for no reason, foul, fast. When I came here, she was a junior. So we worked together her 7th and 8th grade year. She came here for a couple of years. I was still at Richmond. And I came here she was a junior. She was still fast and she was okay. But that summer from junior to senior, she really took us in. She really bought into our program. She bought into what we brought to the table as far as her training is concerned. Kid shot probably about 44% from 3 last year, averaged about 19 points a game. Went on to get play for LaRoche. She plays for LaRoche now, college. So that's one story that I seen. She was always athletic. She just wasn't a great basketball player. She turned out to be a tremendous basketball player. Tremendous.
She was the younger sister
Of-
there was Danae and Denasia Sanders.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Denasia and Dania.
Sanders.
That's it.
Dania
Yeah.
Sanders was her sister.
I always
Absolutely.
thought they were twins till somebody
Nah,
told me.
Dania was the older sister. But yeah, you're absolutely right. The second one is Jenna. Jenna, when I came here, Jenna couldn't put the ball on the floor. All she could do was catch and shoot. That's it. That's all they asked her to do. She could catch and shoot. This summer, she could put the ball. She could run point guard. She could take you off the bounce. That's actually what happened. I used to tell this. Here's a story. I said, Jenna, listen, you've got this new stuff. Don't use it all the time. They're strong down in that paint. Use your pull up. I know you can get past people now, and she wants to show off her new handle. But please pull up because I don't want you going in there. I really don't want you. You're not quick enough yet to beat the first person and beat the help. You can beat the first person and pull up. Beat the first person, went in, got hit, and that's where we have it. So, but that kid, she came in as just a shooter. She's leaving us as a ball handler, good passer, great, better shooter. So those are two kids that I've seen come one way and go out very, very good.
Well, Coach, we want to, we're up against it a little bit here, but we wanted to thank you very much for taking the time to come down here. And we came down here and you afforded us the place to come
No
here.
problem.
And we look forward to watching your program as the year goes on here.
Thank you.
And I, too, want to thank Kim Fasiglia for helping us set this up. And
Yes, we have to thank my wife.
actually, both our
She's the real facilitator.
I was going to say both of our experiences here at Brush, and as a Euclid grad, you know how difficult that is for me to say.
Yeah.
Have been fantastic, both with football and basketball. So,
Nice.
but
Nice.
Coach, thank you very, very much, and we look, like I said, best of luck as you guys move forward.
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you. It was fun.
I
Thank you.
appreciate the time, Coach.
Mhm.
This
Thank
has been Talkback Fans. I'm Pat Langdon,
Terry Howell.
John Fasiglia.
And Jay Crone.
and we'll see you Saturday.
Saturday, that's right, from Truman Fieldhouse with the video and play-by-play of the Solon
The
Benedictine
debut
boys
of the
basketball.
dynamic duo of play-by-play of Terry and John.
Well,
So-
let's see. Let's not call it that first. Let's see how it plays out.
Yes.
but we'll see you Saturday night. Later.